Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. Tonight we are looking at Workhorse stock again, being as you guys seem to love last night's video. Thank you so much for all the support on that one. But tonight we're looking at the future and what the USPS contract means, along with a few other important things, key bits of information which I personally believe you should know. Should you buy this stock before the contract? If the contract is going to go through, we're going to look more into that tonight. So just before we do start off the video, I would appreciate it massively if you guys could like and subscribe now. I'm sure over 1,000 people are probably going to watch this video. Can we get to at least plus 100 subscribers? Can 100 of you guys, 100 viewers subscribe to the channel, get us to 260? I'd appreciate it massively. We're trying to get to 1,000. If you could share this video with your friends and family, help them to learn how to invest and things like that, it'd be great. So thank you very much for the view and thank you for watching this video. Please do watch all the way through to the end though, because we're going to be doing what we always do, analysing the stock and looking at what this means. Okay, so starting off with Workhorse stock, and I'm going to be comparing this one with the nasdaq because I believe that's a fair indicator, as this is a similarly sectored company in a way, kind of index, because this is in the technology sector, similar to Workhorse, being as it's kind of an EV company. So fair enough in my opinion for that one. I think it's a decent baseline to look at. We could look at the S&P, but we're going to look at the nasdaq. So looking at the 1 day, the Workhorse stock is actually up. Looking at the 1 day on the nasdaq, we can see the nasdaq is actually down. Looking at the 1 day on the I'm looking at the 5 day, on the Workhorse stock is shooting up. Looking at the 5 day on the Nasdaq, we can see the Nasdaq is down. The Nasdaq is down similarly to the way the Workhorse stock is up. Looking at the 1 month on the Workhorse stock, we can see patterns of buy and sell like I always talk about, and now we are hitting even higher highs. This little point of resistance on this day where it looked like it might have been starting to dip off, that actually wasn't as steep as we saw down here, and basically these have been getting shallower and shallower as time has been going on, and this company has been picking up more recognition to the point where, in my opinion, we've got to here and then it's basically just gone up again without having such a big dip. So obviously I'm no financial advisor, but I just think this is a good sign. So why it's really important to consider the Nasdaq on the 5 day to this is because this is kind of a similarly spaced stock to the Nasdaq index, in the sense this is supposed to be like a future technology stock, and the Nasdaq has really been taking a beating. So obviously, if you don't know, the Nasdaq is an indicator of the top 100 technology companies in the United States. We can see all of these companies have been leading the pack downwards, especially towards the heavier weighted ones. Things like Apple and Tesla obviously have been dropping. If you've not been following those, I've just made a new video on Tesla. Go check that one out after you watch this. But yeah, that just shows that this stock is quite strong. It's actually very strong because Workhorse stock has been climbing whilst a lot of the other big stocks have been falling. What does that show in my opinion? Like I said, no financial advisor or anything, but I think this shows there's not too much hype in the stock. The stock is actually undervalued as people continue to buy even in these uncertain times, and it just shows great signs. Obviously, a lot of hype is being driven by this USPS contract, which we'll get to in a minute. But first we need to look at some analyst reports. So like I did in last night's video, I looked at the price forecast for Workhorse, but a lot of analysts are actually bullish on this one. So we're looking at a high of plus 7%. In the analyst's opinion, in my opinion, I think it's going to be higher than that. But if we look up to the top, we can see plus 900% on the year to date. Very amazing information. This is from money.cnn.com if you want to check that one out. But I just wanted to look onto that very quickly. So now let's look on the Workhorse website itself. So we're just looking at a few of the vehicles. We're just going to look at the two. Obviously, we do have the drone as well. Not going to look at the drone tonight, but we can see these are kind of smaller delivery vans. So these are for smaller routes, to actual people's houses. So clearly, there's not really too many players in this sector. I've talked about that one again in previous videos, but if we just think about it realistically, not too many players in the sector. Workhorse can pick up a lot of customers in this sector. So this is a more useful vehicle in sort of different ways to the Tesla truck and the potential Nikola truck if that ever comes out. But let's just look at this. So if we think about it, it's kind of like that statistic that we had in the UK about a lot of the economy being run by small businesses. This is similarly true with trucks in one sense, being as a lot of the delivery packages which you get from like Amazon and eBay and the mail, things like that do come in these smaller vans, and that is why the US Postal Service would like to employ these electric vans potentially. So we're just going to look on this website here. We can see on investorplace.com, they say that Workhorse stock will go up even higher if they manage to seal the USPS contract, which is possible. So this will be a great thing because we can imagine this will add a lot to the repertoire of the company, as a lot more people will know about this brand. So obviously a great reputation going up with this one if they manage to land some of this contract. They don't even need to land the full contract. If they could get even 1, 2 or even 3 billion of this contract alongside Ford or something like that, probably will be Ford forward, in my opinion. This could be a great thing for the company because they've got brand awareness. They can say they have worked for the US Postal Service and produced loads of trucks. It shows them a lot of stuff. It shows they are reliable and they can work to big projects even for a small company, which is obviously going to be a struggle for a lot of small companies. So the fact they can work for a small timescale could be a great thing for this company. So another thing which I'm going to look at right now, which I think is arguably the most important piece of information regarding this contract with the US Postal Service and which could potentially influence the price. So here we are on this prnewswire.com website if you want to know the sources. This is agreements between Workhorse and Hitachi Capital and Hitachi in America. So what does this mean for the company? It means that they could potentially ramp up production. Another thing is Workhorse are about to employ 200 plus new employees, which is a great sign, and this kind of could show that they might know something that we don't, in the sense that they might have been given pointers that they're getting the contract or some of the contract in the future, because if they're trying to team up with bigger companies, trying to take on more workers, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but ask yourself the logical question. Right now, things aren't looking great in the economy. Why would you take on 200 workers for no reason if you don't know that you're going to get the contract? Because obviously that's a lot more people to employ for such a small company, so it does kind of point to something happening potentially in the future. Very interesting pieces of information there, very nice to see. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I hope you guys enjoyed up to this point. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at some of the comments from previous video on Workhorse stock. So I hope you can enjoy this section. After that, I'm going to cut out the video anyway. So I hope you enjoyed up to now. I will see you in this section in just a moment. Okay, so I asked you guys to tell me what you thought in the last video. This is last night's video, and I've replied to a few of these people so far, but if you want to check that one out, it's going to be on a price prediction, as you can see in the title. But yeah, we're just going to look at a few of the comments. So we've got Donald here at the top saying that the stock is going to a price of 100 plus. Very ambitious there. We'll have to see what happens there. We've got Josh next, which is saying they hold 1,086 shares. Big position. Wish you the best of luck. Absolutely great position to have potentially if you believe in this company. And then we have Mr. Smith next, which is commenting saying ARK Invest have invested 7 million shares into the company, and honestly this is something which I potentially intend to make a video on in the future. Obviously I can't really cover all this in a 10-minute video at one time. I want to make these videos as short as possible so that you can get all the information in such a short period of time, but you can see that is this person's opinion, Mr. Smith. So they wish that a lot more people would know about Workhorse as well, because no one is really talking about why ARK Invest have invested 7 billion and also why people basically don't talk about it. So I can kind of agree with this one, as Workhorse is one of those companies which isn't really too talked about. There's not really too many people on YouTube talking about it, which is a good thing for me because it means that my videos show up higher. But no, it's one of those stocks which is kind of undervalued in my opinion too, so I can kind of agree with that one. Then we have Eric next, saying that the stock is apparently going to hit 75 after the USPS contract. Probably true, depending on what percentage they get. Obviously, the percentage number will have a big influx and basically influence on the price of the stock, because if they get the full 6 billion, great things. If they get a little bit of the contract, obviously still good things nevertheless, but it could be even not as good things really. That's what I'm trying to say here. So we got Wendy next, which is saying that they are going to subscribe, but Workhorse is going to hit $90. Fair play to this person. If it does, I will be very happy. So we can see in the comment section a lot of people are saying we're looking at prices between $70 and $100. I think that's fair for the next few years. However, I am no financial advisor and cannot guarantee this. Another thing is we have Roy right at the bottom saying that they have 390 shares and are adding. Best of luck on that position, Roy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do leave a like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one later on. Goodbye for now.